In this video, we're going to start learning how to put CSS into your HTML web page. Alright, so at the moment we're using the greater than and less than tags to make all these open and close tags to create different parts of your web page. But now we want to include CSS, okay? And CSS is the styling of your web page. Alright, so at the moment we can see it looks pretty bland. Alright, there's not much there going on. Alright, so we're going to start learning how to include CSS within your code. Alright, so if you go to W3 Schools, they have a CSS tutorial. So I'm just going to drag this out so you can see a little bit more. Alright, so when you go to CSS, on the left hand side there's all these different things that you can do with CSS. Alright, the one I'm going to show you today is a navigation bar. Alright, a lot of you will use this for your web page. And basically you can have little different pages that you can link to. Alright, so when you click on them, obviously your page will then go, so your web page will then change to the new page that you've clicked on. Alright, so if we scroll down, it gives you examples of how the code should look for different parts. It explains here exactly what they mean. For me, I'm going to go through and do a horizontal one. Here we are. The ones before were verticals, these are horizontal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down to this section here. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Alright, and here's the example. So if I go try it yourself, alright, it gives me all of this code here that I can then use. Alright, so if you start to look at the types of tags that have been used, you can see that in here, alright, this is the CSS language here. Alright, see how they're using curve brackets? Alright, well before when we were using HTML, we're just using the greater than and less than symbols. Alright, we're opening the tag and we're closing it off. Okay, so you can see that this is a lot different. So what we want to do to start off with is we want to copy and paste this section. Alright, so the style is open here and closed there, and that allows you to put CSS code in there, alright, for it to be used in the HTML document. Alright, and we've also got head here and there, alright, and that means it's going to stay at the top of the page, okay, where the header is. Alright, so this is what it looks like. This shows you exactly what this code means. Alright, so this is what we're aiming for in ours. Alright, I'm just going to drag this back. Okay, so I'm going to go copy, and I'm just going to hit enter. Alright, and I'll just paste it here. Alright, so all that code is right here for us. It's done most of the work, hard work for us, sorry. But I just wanted to show you, if I was to delete style, alright, you notice how everything here turns white. Okay, so it's really important, if you want to use CSS for your HTML document, you need to include the style tag. And when your language here, or your written words here, turn into different colors, then you know that it's actually registering those as a bit of code that you can use. Alright, so the only other thing that we need to do, this is more just how it sort of looks, how it's all set up at the top of the page. If I scroll down in this code, alright, inside the body tags, we've got this. Now basically, this means it's an unordered list. Alright, so it's just as it is. Alright, and we've got different lists here, which basically nominates what these different parts are. Okay, so what we can do is actually start making new files for these different pages that you've got. Alright, so I'm just going to copy and paste all this as well. And I'm going to put it inside the body here. So I'm just going to hit enter again. Control V. Alright, so this is it. So at the moment, what I need to do is create a new page. Alright, and then I can call it whatever I need. So for example, I'm going to go File, New. Alright, and when I save this, I'll just go Save As. I'm going to call this one touchsensor.html and save. Okay, so now what I can do is I can go through and do my doc type. I'll just copy and paste these, make it easier. close HTML. Alright, and in here I can just do, I'll just do a quick little paragraph. I'll just write hi. Okay, so there's something on that page now. Awesome. So what we need to do is basically link these two pages together. So if I go back to HTML, the web page, website, sorry, and in here, all right, so these are the references, okay? So for here, actually I might do it for the second page, where it says news. So this one here needs to be the same name as your page. So if I write touch center HTML, and notice as well, it's case sensitive as well. So if you have a capital T here, for example, make sure you write the capital T there so it knows exactly what you're talking about. All right. Where it says news, I can change this so it appears to what I want it to say. So for example, if I'm going to have my touch sensor information there, I can write touch sensor. Okay. So what should happen is touch sensors should be appeared here or on our web page. It should appear there. All right. So when I click on it, it should take me to this page, which is this one here. Okay. So we'll try this. So we'll just go file save, go to our web page, and then we'll refresh. All right. So at the top, you've got this. All right. It says touch sensor. If I click on that, it takes us to that page. All right. So at the moment, we've got this page working with this one. All right, and we've linked it here. All right, so if I was you, I would go through and start making the other ones. So I would want one that would have the gyro sensor, another one that would have the ultrasonic sensor. And then you probably have to copy and paste this whole link and make another one for your color sensor as well. Okay, so that's a good way of going through and doing that. If you come back up here, all right, these things here you can edit to then change what you see on the navigation bar. So if you don't want like the color, like the grey sort of color at the back, you can go through and start changing these. So for example, I think I might just just try this one. So rather than having 333, we could write a random number and just go 541. Save and then refresh. All right, and there you go. It's changed that. Okay, so if you can go through and start changing the colors if you want. Okay, depending obviously what you need. All right, so all of those are there. This one here as well. If I just change this to red, for example, we can see what that does. Try that again. You can change the color of the text. All right, so there's heaps of stuff you can play around with to change certain parts of your web page.